I am a Chelsea fan. I am a Chelsea fan. We lose together. We are as we fall together. I am a Chelsea fan. I am a Chelsea fan. We lose together. We rise, we fall together. I am a Chelsea fan. I am a Chelsea fan. We lose together. We rise, we fall together. Together we overcome. Together we can be stopped. We will reach those goals we set together. I am a Chelsea fan. I am a Chelsea fan. We lose together. We rise, we fall together. I am a Chelsea fan. Chelsea fan. I am a Chelsea fan. Chelsea, okay. We lose together. Together we win. We rise, we fall together. I am a Chelsea fan. I am a Chelsea fan. We lose together. Together we can be strong. We rise, we fall together.
Yeah, I forgot to drop the Poch intro, so there you are, guys. There you are. Big up to everybody that's locked in. Hit the like button, subscribe. We back for another hate along, and I think we need a little favour from Tottenham today, as much as I hate to say it. There's a strike for Newcastle just over the bar. I've got one eye on the Newcastle-Everton game while we're waiting for West Ham v Tottenham to kick off. But yeah, we might need a little favour from Tottenham. I hate that it's come to this, but we already know everything is lost already. So we need our old rivals to do us a favour against our current rivals. So West Ham are 4 points ahead of us. We obviously don't want that to go to 7. Even though we have 2 games in hand on them, we want as little ground as possible to try and make up, because we can't get a run of wins to save our damn life. So We need everybody else to do the dirty work for us because we ain't that guy. We ain't that guy. First off, though, one positive. Nottingham Forest are 2-0 up against Fulham. So that means they can't go above us in the table unless they pull off some brazy comeback, which I wouldn't really have too much faith in. Because I think Forest are pretty decent at home. Correct me if I'm wrong. Or maybe they're better at home than they are away. But I doubt Fulham are going to pull 3 goals back. I hope not. I really hope not. All we need now is Bournemouth and Palace's game to stay exactly how it is. Or let Palace even get a win. And then we go into the game on Thursday. Still in 11th. But not 12th. Not 13th. I guess that's a positive. Lewis thinks we can still manage to get higher than 10th place. Look, somebody's got to still have hope. Somebody's still got to have a faint flicker of hope, even though that Burnley game killed nearly everything I have. Let's just see if we can do anything against Manchester United. We're fucked. Yeah, our season is dusted. It is what it is. But you never know. We might finally break the streak of failing to beat Manchester United in the league. Maybe this is the game. It isn't. This is probably the stinkiest 1-1 draw. What else is everybody saying, though? Sean's saying he can't be bothered to look at the table anymore. I only do it when I'm live. If I'm not live, I don't care. But we need to try and keep some look at the table while we're doing these watch-alongs. So I'll be the one that keeps track for everybody. I'll be the one that does it. Nobody else is. And if we don't beat Man United, finished. We are done. We are finished. We are scrubbed. Although we are already scrubbed. What's Pies tweeted? Chelsea once again have sent scouts to watch Benfica v Sporting tonight. Okay, probably more Amarim watch / what's it called? No, not Jokeres. Diamande? I think it's Diamande. Yeah. Whatever, I don't care. Keep monitoring. Epic Gamer says WrestleMania 40 Night 1 and Night 2 watch along. Not Night 1. I got a little birthday party on Night 1. Night 2, though, we will be here. Straight after the Sheffield United. The Sheffield United versus Chelsea game, where I really hope we don't throw that one too. Just out of a little bit of pride, go there and get a victory, please. But yeah, there won't be a Night 1 watch along. And by the way, the Night 1 card is stacked. If anything, both of them are. They've handled both cards really well. Although Seth v. Drew starting Night 2 is just a little omen that I think Seth Rollins is losing his title. Drew McIntyre's been overdue his moment, though. Plus, his mic skills have leveled up over the last 4 or 5 months. He's the greatest troll in WWE right now. Slap the belt on him immediately. Seth Rollins has been great holding that title, but yeah, your time's come. It is what it is. You had a good run, mate. Big up to the 100 plus in it, though. Let's get 100 likes ASAP. Hit that like button. Please don't be like our football club on Saturday. Smash that like button vigorously, my guys. Big up to Assad saying everyone's down, but if we win both our games this week and United lose to Liverpool, we're only 2 points off them with a game in hand. I hear that, but everyone's down because we drew to a 10-man Burnley with no manager. I understand. I don't blame anybody here saying I don't even want to look at the table. You still think we can get above 10th place? Why are you even bothering with the table? Season's over. I don't blame anybody. For thinking that. Because this club is so good at just damaging any hope that you have for the season. So, don't blame them. It is what it is. Seen the Bowley quotes. I didn't properly look at them. Let me try find those quotes. There was a couple bits of news that came out today, but it weren't really anything worth doing a stream about, so I thought I'd just touch on them all today. So Bowley said on the Chelsea project, the good news is people care so much, and the bad news is people care so much. That leads to times where they're frustrated and with the team and the owners. I get that, but we just have to continue to stay the course. Well, just hopefully not with Pochettino. So as long as you guys are looking for a decent manager, as long as you guys have our targets in place or you're monitoring them, just get to next season, innit? But you can't afford to have another bad season. Like, just get Pochettino gone first before I listen to any of this crap. Get rid of him first, bring in an actual decent manager, and then we'll move. Was there any other quotes? From him? We just need to let the process develop and give our squad time to go from being unbelievable individuals with great skills to fold into a team. Why are we not a team? Like, it's so mind-numbingly annoying. Why are we not a team? Somebody tell me why we're not a team. Why do we look so disjointed? Why are we so crap defensively? Like, for goodness sakes. Like, I hear it. All of this is just going in one ear and straight out the other. Because while you have this bozo in charge, you can't tell me to believe in anything. Yeah, crap. I didn't even get into it. So what was this? So Cole Palmer's in line with a bumper new contract with an improved pay rise. Well deserved. Give him the Enzo deal for all I care. Keep him here till 2032. But yeah, this is the positives of the wage structure that we have. You start off low, unless you're in Nkuku or Enzo. And then if you play to an acceptable standard, you earn a higher contract. Just like Cole Palmer's done this season. Great. I'm happy for him. This is why he's probably going to get over 150k a week, yet Gallagher Greyhound won't, and why we refuse to give Mount over 200k for a year. And I thought we were being generous with that. Palmer currently earns around 80k a week. He's probably going to get... Oh, thought there was a transfer Newcastle. Probably going to get double that. He's probably going to get double that, if not a little bit more. But it's well deserved. What else was there? Let me just start all of it. And then I can come back to them. Big up to Big Six Bants as well. I didn't even get to shout them out. Shout out to Monts for the raid. If none of you have subbed to Big Six Bants, shame. Every single one of you sub over. Monts puts out some great content, so everybody head over there. Big up to my guy. Big up. So what else was there? Insiders believe Cole Palmer is the current leading candidate to be named FIFA Young Player of the Year. I would hope so, but I can't shake the belief that they're going to give it to somebody in a title race. And I really hope not, because I always feel like the Young Player of the Year award should be more for a breakout star. And Cole Palmer has been the breakout star of this season by a mile. So I think he warrants an award like that. In terms of Player of the Year, I would love to say he deserves to be in with a shout. He's probably not going to make that list. But for Young Player of the Year, he deserves it. He completely deserves it. I hope he wins. I really hope they just don't think title race tax and they give it to Bukayo Saka because he qualified by a month. But we'll see. In spite of insiders believing it, I will believe it when I see it. So as of right now, look, I'm just glad. Well, he should already be in the list for it, regardless. But I'm not going to go off that and say, yeah, he's won. No, not yet. But cool. What else? Chelsea's owners don't want to rashly sack Pochettino. There is still a belief the season can be turned around. Well, the good thing is this came from Ben Jacobs, and after the Potter stuff, I'm hoping he could be wrong twice. But then again, I say that, we're again at the point of the season where it would be pointless getting rid of him. Like, if we lose to Man United and he gets sacked, I'm going to be fuming. Well, I'll be happy and I'll be fuming. I'm going to have such a range of emotions. I won't know whether to be happy or angry. I'll be happy he's gone, but I'll be angry it took this long. I'll be happy I don't have to hear any more stupid Poch prop. But at the same time, it should have been done ages ago. Can't justify it in April without using the same reasons that were there in December. So, I don't know. I actually don't believe he's getting sacked this season, but end of the season, finished. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. I saw this as well. Timeline was getting annoyed about it. Initially, I thought, why? I was like, why the hell have we got him on a new contract? But then I checked, and his contract was meant to expire in 3 months. And with that, like, it's not a big deal. It's really not a big deal. Cool. We signed somebody with 3 months left. He hasn't done anything to move the needle, but what? You're going to let him go for free? When he could develop and you could keep him in the squad, or you flip. One or the other. But, like, why would you get rid of him now? There's no reason for it. As much as, like, I'm not moved by Gilchrist, don't really care. I saw some reports talking about how it might appease fans and everything. I think that's BS. I don't believe they signed Alfie Gilchrist to appease the Chelsea fans. They re-signed Gilchrist because he had a couple months left on his contract. That's it. That's a media spin for literally no reason. Literally no reason. So don't really care too much about that one. So yeah, re-sign him, loan him out at the end of the season. I don't care. I don't really care. Like, if I see Gilchrist on the pitch again this season, I think it'll be too soon, personally. Unless our season's already done by that point. In that case, just throw it to the youth for all I care. But while we're still in the race for Europe, while we're still in the FA Cup, there's no reason to see him. Even if Gusto's injured, I'd rather see Disasi right back. I'd rather see Chalobah right as Chalobah's injured too. No, he's in partial team training. If he's fit, I'd rather see him there. I'd rather see him there. At least I can back there defending a little bit more. But yeah, I wouldn't be annoyed about Gilchrist re-signing. I wouldn't be annoyed about it at all. Wouldn't be annoyed about it at all. Ryan says Gilchrist is good. All right, you lot sign him. You lot sign him. We'll flip him. Get me the money that we want, and then he's gone. Someone, though, who isn't gone, sadly. Someone who isn't gone. Someone who will sadly be returning. We got the return of Kepa. The return of Kepa, people. Nobody wanted you back. Yet you are coming back. Great. Although this is also news that we all already knew. Like, I could have told you this months ago, in all honesty. Kepa's leaving. Shock. Why do they want him? Their bench goalkeeper managed to overtake him. Courtois will be back at some point, and then he'll be their number 3. Why would they keep him? Clearly he sucks. Although we all already knew that. Whatever. Bring him back. Try and flip him. If not, try and loan him. If not, sit on the bench. We're going to have 3. Actually, no. Petrovic is still a good goalkeeper. He's the best out of the 3. Big up to Petrovic. Kepa might even be our number 3. Eesh. He might actually be our number 3. That's crazy. 72 million, bruv. 72 million and the OG 7-year contract. If only we press for Alisson a little bit more, man. If only we press for Alisson a little bit more. Oh, well. I think that was it. Was there anything else? So we spoke about Palmer. We spoke about Gilchrist. Yeah. That's about it. That's about it. Players are coming out of the tunnel anyway, so I'm going to drop the link. Big up to everybody that's locked in. As always, hit the like button, subscribe. Let us know all your thoughts down in the comment section below. Super chat, if you want to guarantee your comment gets read out, or if you want to just help the channel. And bear with me quickly. I'll see if I can pattern the Discord as well, but I doubt it. It's black screen for days now. Big up to everybody, though. Let's try to get to 100 likes. 100 likes ASAP, people. And sadly, we kind of need Tottenham to do us a favour today. Kind of need Tottenham to do us a favour. Hate that it's come to this. Hey, in the words of Graham Potter, that's life. That is life. Nearly done. Just gotta sort out the Insta guy. Oh, fuck's sake. There we go. Calm. Think we got ourselves sorted. I think that's everybody. Light work. Yes, Nathan, what are you saying?
Big up, Lewis. Yeah,
Big
doing
up,
all right.
my guy.
Just
Big
trying
up.
to chill, watch some football.
Oh,
You know how
yeah,
it is.
just some good football. Some good football.
Yeah, if
Use that
possible.
loosely. Although it will just
Yeah.
be West Ham sitting back and trying to hit Tottenham on the counter. Hate
Yeah,
that we need
okay.
Tottenham to win, but here we are, innit? Here we are, innit?
That's where we're at.
We do have a preview tomorrow for the United game. I'm going to be live with Saeed, so keep a lookout for that. Actually, no, I might see if I can make it a 2v2. Might get Flawless down and get somebody else on. There'll be also a video with rants. So I'm gonna record that tonight, have that out tomorrow. So there'll be 2 bits of content. I don't think I'm gonna be doing a hate along tomorrow, though. I don't think I'm gonna be doing a hate along because Arsenal versus Luton. What's the point? Man City versus Villa. What's the point? Fabrizio tweet. What, is that Alessandro injured again? Let me have a look. Yeah, Lisandro Martinez and Victor Lindelof out for a month.
Bloody hell.
Mad. So who's their back 2 going to be? It's going to be Maguire and who's that other centre back? Who did they play last time? Oh no, yeah, it'll be fucking Varane, innit?
Yeah,
Varane's
should be Varane, huh? Yeah.
No, didn't he have some head problem today?
Huh.
Swear he had some head problem, or did I read that wrong? Something about a concussion with heading the ball. Was he talking about how he... Yeah, he's talking about how he tells his son not to head the ball. No, he's withdrawn from Man United fixtures this season due to concussion symptoms. Rah, they got... Evans! Okay.
Oh, no.
It's going to be Evans and Maguire. I want to say that's giving us a bit of a chance. But I've just watched that Burnley game.
Then you think about the Burnley game and that's like, yeah, no, probably not.
Oh, boy. Please win. I beg. I beg you, man. Please just don't embarrass us for once. They got barely any backline. Their midfield is crap. Their attack is crap. Can we end the streak? Please. Also, yeah, the West Ham Spurs game has kicked off. We'll see, innit? We'll see. I ain't at the game anyway, though. There will be a watch along. Charlie came in clutch, so my ticket's sorted.
Nice.
So yeah, we will be here. I think my next game's going to be the Cup semi-final. I'm not missing that one. That I'm 100% going to. That's going to be a great day out.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Even
Wembley.
if we end up getting battered. Lewis, remember the last game against Arsenal versus Luton? I hear that, but that was away from home. I don't think they do the same thing at home. It's not going to be the same game at all. Oh, Werner in possession. Werner loses possession. There we go. Typical. I forgot to do the scoreline as well. Talk about typical. Oh, Ryan, your bait is so horrific, bruv. So horrific. Lucky ain't flawless. I played that 16 out of 10 thing again. Disgrace. Bro, Denzel, I hear you, but We're here, innit? Do we want West Ham to go 7 points clear? Bowen, oh, he didn't get the connection he wanted on that. Let me sort out the scoreline quickly. Calm. All good. Big up to my GC Nat. Big up to Joey in the chat as well. Big up, my guy. You just know we're going to lose now. We have a clear advantage. Here's a new way to Chelsea. We fuck ourselves over now. I hate that we're all in this depressed mindset. But that's what 2 years of this crap does to you.
Yep.
It's up to the players and it's up to the manager. Reinstill the belief in us. Because no one else is going to do it. Spent all season saying, just go on a run. Just go on a run. I'm not asking for much. Just go on a run. Go on a run of wins. Can't do it. Can't do it.
Now it's pass the ball to Palmer. He knows what to do.
PMP, man. Palmer and Prey. Been saying it. Been saying it. That's all we know. It's a good pass from Udogi. Back to Werner. Werner. Cross the ball. Tottenham lead. Tottenham lead. Just like that.
Oh, damn.
Well, West Ham can hold that. But, is what it is. Is what it is. Tottenham lead. Werner with the assist.
Johnson.
Well, someone said Agent Timo and all that. Someone said Agent Timo. But it wasn't me. It wasn't me. 1-0 Tottenham. Early goal at the London Stadium. To be honest, it's kind of what we needed. It's kind of what we needed. I refuse to celebrate, though. I refuse. I'm not doing it. I'm not celebrating Tottenham goals, but calm. I think that's onside.
Looks like it. Yeah.
Yeah, decent run, decent turn of pace from Werner. Calm. That's all good. Ugh. Get a second and dead it early. I'll see what else is on at that point. Sinak again, my G saying leaving party when Poch gets the boot. Regardless, there'll be a leaving party. Even if he does it even if it's done this season. We'll celebrate and then we're gonna cook. A little bit of both. Regardless, I will not be robbed of my moment of celebration when we're rid of that terrorist. I won't not get my moment. We will not get our moment. But we also have to be honest about it. We gotta be honest about it. Summer Surfer says, where is Scott? We want to hear his opinion on the Gilchrist deal. Big up to my guy, Scott. What are you telling me, bro?
There he is.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, literally perfect
fuck
timing.
Gilchrist. Fuck this new contract. But, like, I'm not surprised.
Yes.
Honestly, like, I'll just say, I was all for the game against Burnley.
Scott, your mic's breaking up a little bit.
Cool, I thought it might. Give me a sec. I'll jump out and jump back in.
Yeah, no worries, bro. No worries. Burnley 1-0 Wolves. Okay. Aye, that's decent. That's decent. We got a chance to climb back to page 1 of the league. If we win. That's all we got to do. All we got to do is win. And we're back into the top 10. Well, as long as we get to that point. As long as we get the victory. Yeah, that's better, bro.
Cool. As I was saying, I missed the game at the weekend. I was away with my family, enjoying everything. Chelsea couldn't piss me off. I was enjoying life. I come back. It's taken me a day since coming back, and Chelsea Twitter's already pissed me off.
What a smart move skipping the Burnley game, by the way. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, bro. I was looking on the timeline. I saw the goals. I was seeing everything. Like just incredible, incredible scenes. Absolutely unbelievable.
Oh yeah,
Couldn't believe it.
I hear it. But hey, on the Gilchrist stuff, at least I get it. It's 3 months left of his contract. At least you get to flip him in a year or
release
two.
him then.
Yeah, exactly. Just selling him.
Hey, you don't even want to let him develop.
Nope. Bro, like I'm not being funny, right?
Little loan spell.
I saw someone. No, I saw someone mention this last week. It might have been at the weekend actually while I was away, because I was still looking on Twitter like while the game was going on and stuff. There was someone that mentioned when it comes to Gilchrist, this guy doesn't make like the under 21s team or the under 19s team. Like even when he was in the Premier League 2 team
for
last
Chelsea?
season, he wasn't making for England or anything, and he doesn't even last season for the Premier League 2 team. He wasn't playing consistently. Like right back, there's better options in the youth team. Achimpong's one of them. There's better options at left back. Samuel Smith, who we literally signed from Everton in the summer, is better than him. There's better options at centre back than him in the academy. So, like Humphreys, who we sent out on loan, is better. Like, and he's too small to play centre back.
Even if that's the case, though, you're even flipping him for like $1 million or something. Like it's still better than letting him go for free.
Brilliant, cool, sweet. Like I fully understand why they did it. Like, and I'd be naive to say that I'd be naive to say it didn't make sense in some way, because you can at least, as you said, flip him, loan him out, whatever he might develop. That he might develop. But I just don't care. This guy stinks. He reeks. And I look forward to the day he's sold. Like he.
Oh, I hear it. Like I don't have much positivity with it. It's just like whatever. I get it. I'm not hyping it up. That born in Chelsea crap they're trying to talk about is going to be hilarious when you flip him in a year. But whatever. I don't care. Makes sense to keep him. That's it. Just don't need to see him at all this season.
Did you say born in Chelsea? What do you mean by born in Chelsea?
There was a tagline that they were using with him re-signing. What was it called? Born to be Chelsea.
I'd love to know what they mean by that.
Born to be Chelsea.
What does that mean?
Which is the same place I'm born.
Born where?
He's born in Kingston. Same place I was born. His closest football team is Wimbledon.
And maybe you're born to be Chelsea too, innit?
That's what I'm saying. Like, there are, technically speaking, 2 other teams. If you want to go by like location, there are 2 other teams that he should be supporting and playing for based on location. I'm not saying he has to. I'm just saying that whole like the born thing is just nonsense.
Like, that's just a thing to tug on the heartstrings.
They said it. E-Man, the reason I know is because they said it on a broadcast before, and I picked up on it because I'm from Kingston as well. That's why I know of that.
Yeah, with Cenac as well. It's definitely a PR signing in terms of the timing of it. Yeah. But like there is a bit of logic to it as well. You're not going to let him go for free. But the timing, that's why I think it's a little bit of PR. How do we up the fans' mood after that performance against Burnley? Let's re-sign Gilchrist.
Fuck the fans.
Then we can announce it just before the United game and get a little roar from the crowd. It's all mad. And big up to Alex as well, saying I think, bro, the Tottenham result kind of favours us. Like we need them to win.
And the Forest result as well. They're 3-0 up already in the first half.
Yeah, Forest 3-0 up. Burnley are beating Wolves. All I need is for Bournemouth not to win, and it's been a good night. Got everything we needed. Just Tottenham, don't Tottenham. Just please don't Tottenham. That's all. But yeah, big up as well, Fatta, man. I hope you're good.
Too bad, not too bad. I went to Big Six fan and then it was 2v2. Me and Don against Catherine, Corey in that.
Against who?
Cass and Corey in that.
Oh, United Chelsea preview. I get it. Yeah, E-Man, I saw that clip. Like,
that's the disgrace. Do you know what? Like,
what?
Do you know what's upsetting as well? Is the guy who said that, I'm fairly certain it's who I think it is. I do respect him massively, like outside of football,
too.
And it sucks.
Me too.
Like it genuinely sucks.
When I found out it was him, I was like, "Oh, really?" I don't.
Yeah,
even mind
bro, it was heartbreaking. Like your kid's a scumbag, but like I actually respect you.
Yeah, bruv. Like L take, or just say it's an L take. You ain't gonna
so disappointing.
too much, but bruv, come on, man.
I'm not upset. I'm just disappointed.
Stop with being grabbed by the emotional heartstrings and everything. Come on.
Also, just want to point out, outside of the Newcastle game, every result right now is going for us. Like every result. Actually, outside the fact that Palace are not ahead, every single. Because if Fulham were winning, they'd be above us. If Wolves were winning, they would open up a 4-point gap to us. And if Bournemouth
I'm still
beat
worried
Palace, they go
Wolves might
above.
turn it around. Like, that is Burnley at the end of the day. Although, again, look, I can't really look down on Burnley after the weekend. So what am I talking about? Bro, Bournemouth, the result there suits us as well. A draw's okay. That keeps them a point behind.
I'll take a Palace win because they'll still be 6 points behind us.
Wait, where are they at? Yeah, 31 points. Yeah, not too bad. 33 if they win. That's fine. That's not too bad. Oh, beautiful game. We've already been there. We've already been there, man.
Yeah, 100%.
We've been doing this for months.
The first thing I did after the Burnley game is check where we were on the table. What results meant we were. First thing I did. That's what I've done every single game so far for like the last month. Is check where results mean we are on the table and how far we are. Bro, it's embarrassing. Like, it's terrible.
Now, if we lose to Manchester United, though, there ain't a point. I think, to me, if we don't win that one, that's when the season's finished.
No, the season's finished anyway, man. Like, bro, we are 19 points behind Tottenham. Holy shit.
19?
Jesus.
Damn, I thought it was more.
I didn't even do that. It might be more. I don't know if this has updated with the game tonight, whatever it is. We are 19 points as it stands.
I saw earlier we have a 0.1 chance of a top 4 finish. Hey, at least it's not 0. There's a 0.1 there.
Man. Holy shit.
Wait, what?
Jeez.
8 points. Oh my goodness.
8 points behind United, bro. If they win that game against us, 11 points.
There's peak.
Actually, is that the game against United? That is a big game, isn't it? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's their game in hand, but we'll have one more on them. That's why a win is so important. Newcastle, I want to hope Everton have something for us. Doubt it. Udogie, that's good strength there. Oh, offside. No, that's a foul. Hey, we are still transfer kings. Don't get it twisted. We are still transfer kings. E-Man. Every single time we have an opportunity, we fumble it. As much as I hate the £2 billion line after Burnley, we deserve it.
Yeah. They say this even this season, by the way. This has been other times as well. Like, how many times was it even under like Tuchel where there were times where we had chances to capitalize and we didn't? Like, I don't know where it is with this team. They just like have a mentality issue. And we've had it for ages. We just can't capitalize. Even under Tuchel and under Lampard, we nearly bottled top 4. Had to rely on other teams for us to get top 4. And it's like that's why when people talk about that's why, by the way, as well, because like before the Burnley game, people get talking about we got 2 games in hand. Bro, I don't care. Like, are you expecting us to win both those games in hand? Because I'm not. Like, I prefer to have the points on the board because we've seen what happens when we try, like when we have pressure and need to perform. It never happens.
Oh, get in, Palace!
Thank the Lord.
Go on, Palace!
We're fella, that's the way we Palace.
PFC! Let's go!
We like it. That's the way we like it. We like it. Whoa.
I know the whole lyrics and everything. Go on, Eze! Are you saying this offside? Oh, fuck off.
Oh, Jesus, man.
Bullshit.
Is it on TNT?
I think they're all on TNT, yeah.
No, I can't even find pass on TNT.
You can't find what? I thought they were all on TNT. Oh, well, you ain't got a red button. Offside. Oh, well, draw's fine for us anyway. Draw's fine.
They're on the red button. Oh, okay.
Well, I missed the Tottenham goal. I only just checked it now. I can't believe Werner getting another assist.
Brennan Johnson.
Yeah, decent little cutback.
Oh, fuck's sake.
West Ham's on the break, though. Bowen, no one in the middle, though. No options for him. Yeah, like he's got to try cut into nobody. At least they got a corner out of it. Alex saying it's kind of upsetting watching us play, and 99% of fans say there's no characters or Chelsea identity. Academy is a massive part of it, or at least a huge contribution, but
No, it's not.
the only one that we have is Gallagher, though, and he was so bad.
Bro, no. This idea, this Chelsea identity from the academy is a myth. Our identity for what 10, 15 years had nothing to do with the academy outside of Terry.
Zuma, man, you didn't have to. For goodness sake.
Oh dear.
That's not good.
And also Wolves tied at 1-1 too.
Yeah, I saw J Money mention that. But yeah, this idea about the Chelsea identity coming from the academy is nonsense. Like that's only happened since 2019. And the issue I have with that as well.
Yeah, to be honest, in our prime,
having
we're on
some
JT.
Legit. And even then after JT it was Christensen. Apart from that, it's
Christensen
no one.
and Ruben, and like that was it before 2019.
But even with that, the issue I have is I have no problem getting your identity from the academy by having some academy players. Like I wanted other academy players to be involved. I've mentioned like he didn't technically come from Chelsea's academy, but we bought him to be part of the academy and got promoted. I wanted Matos to have more time this season. I've mentioned about Castledine getting time in midfield before we brought back Cassidy. I mentioned Achimpong earlier as a right back option. I keep mentioning Samuel Smith or that other Williams that we bought a left back when we had no other left backs to play. Like I want academy players to be involved if they A, deserve it and B, are good enough. Gilchrist is neither good enough nor does he deserve to be here. So like Gallagher, you could say potentially deserves to be here but isn't good enough. So like that's the thing. Like, I'm more than happy. Like if we had a player from the academy came through like a Kobe Mainu, cool, I've got no problem with him being involved because that they're good enough to be involved. Same as way as if we had someone come through like a Bradley or I'm trying to think of other dudes that Liverpool have had come through this season. Like a Kwanzaa, for example, that level type player. Don't even have to be the best of the best, just got to be solid squad players. They can come in and be involved, that's fine. But when you got guys who come in, play good for 6 minutes, and then are dog shit and are not better than other players who play in that actual position. Like I find it so odd that Gilchrist is coming in is now a fullback. When you have fullbacks in the academy that are better, that are actual fullbacks, I find that so weird.
I don't know what Pochettino saw in Gilchrist individually that he couldn't see in any other centre back or right back.
Yeah,
but I'm guessing he runs a lot. That's going to be my guess. Maybe he did well in the GAC contest or something. Because if he ain't even starting for under 21s, I don't get why we're pushing him so much. Oh, foul for Tottenham. Foul for Tottenham.
I just don't know.
Everyone's celebrating the Zuma goal, brother. We didn't need the goal. We didn't need the goal. Although now only 5 points. Like again, it's not really the end of the world. Even with a loss, like we're 2 games away from West Ham. Loss and draw don't really make too much of a difference. You know what? Maybe a draw ain't that bad. Maybe a draw ain't that bad. Still takes a little something off Tottenham. Yeah, as long as West Ham don't win, calm, we'll take it. We'll take it and we'll move. So he plays those guys to get the fans behind him. If his game management is based on getting the fans on side, then we're already screwed. We're already screwed.
Mm-hmm.
I said Zuma says meow when he kicks the ball. That's crazy. That's crazy. I was saying London is blue in the chat. I love it. London is blue until one of the other clubs do something to claim the city. They ain't done nothing. I don't remember who we signed from Derby Square more.
That was that Dylan Williams kid that I mentioned, who's been on the bench a couple of times. We signed him last year, I think. Because we got him at left back. We got Samuel Smith, who we signed from Everton at left back, who's currently playing is the first choice left back as far as I can tell, for the Premier League 2 team this season. That's what I'm saying. Like you've got guys who can play there. You've had and these guys have been involved with the first team because you've brought 20 different academy players into the first team this season. So it's like you can play these guys and it makes sense, but now you want to play Gilchrist at left back.
You know,
When
Gilchrist
he's not,
definitely the
he's
one
not
who
even a
does
fullback.
everything in training. It's like
Bro, he
the
ain't
best
even a-
runner or something.
Bro,
Like one of them
this is
man
a
who,
guy
one of them man who overworks themselves in training. That's who I think he is.
Bro, he can't. This is a guy who can't get in as a centre back because he's A, not good enough, and B, not tall enough. So we're trying to find a spot for him. How about he's just not good enough? How about you play an actual fullback at fullback?
I don't even know if we're gonna have a right back. We don't know what's happened with Gusto. We
Then
ain't
play
got a single
Achapong.
clue.
Like, again, he's an actual right back.
Oh yeah.
Like, this guy is a right back from the academy, and everything I see from guys like Felix and whatnot who watch the academy more than I do are always impressed with this dude. Play him. He's an actual right back. He knows how to overlap. He knows how to
Nice
drive
pass.
with the ball because he's used to doing it.
Big up to Alex.
Matson, so
That doesn't make any. That doesn't make the things what I said, what I meant. At the end of the day, if you don't have a core of a Chelsea team, like you don't understand what's the. For it doesn't matter if the kid does not make it. The kid if playing at Stamford Bridge where he played since 8 years old, there is something to it. Everybody knows it. Doesn't mean that he has to become John Terry or he has to become anybody else that Chelsea in the future. There's something to it. There is a connection between fans and the stadium and academy player. It's every club has it. There is a reason why there's songs named sings like one of our own. There's something to it. You can ignore it. Or if you ignore it, that's up to you. But there is something to it. I'm not saying this is specific the case that like the Chelsea players, but we're losing every possible link that we connect previous like Chelsea to the new Chelsea. Because if you think that that's not present in the game, I don't know what to tell you, because yesterday, especially the last game that I watched, even with Gallagher didn't play well. I agree with you. But when Gallagher came out, there's nothing fighting. There's nothing there. That mentality, I'm not saying it's like a quality of the game, but it's not what I'm saying, Scott. I'm saying there's something that deeper than just the players. It plays itself, you know what I'm saying? There's something like, there's always been something, I'm not going to say like a spiritual, but it's like, how you say it?
Pass. Poor touch.
Kind of like a kind of thing between like the players that become from kids. You know what I'm saying? There's always been. It doesn't matter who, doesn't matter which team. Everybody will prep up. Do you think Barcelona is gonna say that Messi is like was irrelevant at them? No, I don't think it is. I think that.
I'm sorry, man. I just had to look some Flores put something.
So you're saying the other players didn't have the same amount of fight as Gallagher?
Exactly.
No.
It doesn't like it doesn't. They don't. I can see it.
Pull one back. Fuck's sake.
I can see it.
Oh.
There's nothing like. I understand that this is the running game. Another thing that like people start to say in things that doesn't exist, which is the game is not played based on individuals as a footballers anymore. The game is played based on the system, and everybody keeps saying it, but everybody's treating it the way it's like it used to be football players, like individuals. It's not about individual talent anymore. Jurgen Klopp killed it. You know why? Because that's the only way you can actually break the teams like Pep Guardiola's teams. Same thing what Mourinho did when he broke Pep Guardiola's Barcelona team. You have to invent something to break something. So at this moment of time, there is not football talent playing the game. There's more system playing the game. That's all it is. And saying that Gallagher is just a runner, it's saying that the system that you're watching it right now, it's not like you expect Gallagher to be like Pirlo, to be like any midfielder, right? But in the current game, those are the players are not succeeding. They need runners. They need those kind of players. Every team needs one or two actually. I think people need to realize that the game is not the same until this kind of cycle will break through. Even Barcelona,
Maybe
how
for
good was
Gallagher's defense, the one thing you could do with is a bit better coaching.
it's not about the Gallagher. It's not about, like I said, it's not about the individual. It's more about this. Look at the Barcelona, how crap they look. Because the teams that they played against, the system, they break in the systems. You don't have to score against them. All you have to do, make them be worrying about them. Like, for example, like if it's a corner, like all you gotta do is be like Aspilicueta. Remember how Aspilicueta used to do, not even look at the ball. You see what I'm saying? You just like, sometimes that's what players do. They just has to break your rhythm, and that's how system plays against tactically really good team. I think just people need to realize, the sooner they realize, it's not going to be talented individuals anymore, because individuals don't create the team. Lately, there's no individuals. Name the individual.
What do you mean? I'm sorry. I'm so confused. What you mean about there's no individuals? Because there is.
Like no. I'm saying like individual Fabregases, like Pirlos, like creative,
They still
like the
exist.
midfield.
Technically gifted players.
They still exist.
You call it
Yeah, but there's always that argument now, isn't there? What's better?
That's what.
Like,
Do you think?
What would you say is better talented? The early 2000s, 2010s, or now?
Yeah, the
individual players.
football is not as talented now. The footballers, generally speaking, now are not as talented as they were.
It's more
before.
tactical now.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying like.
But
yeah, that's what I'm saying, Scott. Like you can, of course, you can find the individual.
Like, look at the 2006 World Cup, mate.
100%. But we're talking about some of the best players that have ever played football.
Like, you still had like the fucking Ronaldos or Ronaldinhos, like
Zidane's and all that.
Yeah, mate. Zidane, mate. He was unreal, mate. What the hell? Like, imagine having a Zidane. The geezer just could move,
Okay,
mate.
let me ask you, what's the best midfielders out of, like, right now? If you're gonna create the best midfielders in the last 5 years, like
Rodri.
the ones, huh?
Rodri,
Busquets.
number one.
Busquets, are you serious, man? Like, seriously, Busquets. Busquets was good in 2009. Let's move on from that. Like I understand he played for a while, but no. Yeah. I'm saying in the last 5 years, it's 2024, so it's 2019. Let's go 2019 and up. The talent. Let's say Let's say in the past 5 years, find me Pirlos, find me Ronaldinho's. Tell me those players. There's anybody close enough?
100%. Yes, there is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Modric.
Again, fucking hey, Modric is old, man. Don't bring. I told you 5
said,
years.
No, hang on. You said, and he's still been one of the best midfielders over the last 5 years. What are we doing? This is why I don't get your point.
What, Real Madrid, Modric? Oh, he's the bollocks,
I could name. Depending on where you want to put him, I'd put Bernardo Silva in there. You could put David Silva in there as well. I'd put Gundogan in that conversation. Like, what are we doing here? I don't understand what this argument is. I fully don't understand what you're trying to argue with this.
Alex just thinking of a reason.
No, I'm not. If maybe I don't explain it what I wanted to, and Scott just doesn't understand, so I just don't. I'm losing English to explain it. I'm just seriously, I don't have it in me to actually explain it the way I wanted to explain it. So that's the limit of it. I explained as much as I could, and if Scott doesn't understand what I'm supposed to do, like, I don't know how to explain
it's all right, Alex. I'll just wing it. I'll just try to guess what you understand half the time anyway.
I think I sort of get the gist. Like obviously, there's a far lot less. Like
even
with
Silva and Gundogan, they're still not the same. They're still Mudryk, yes, but Mudryk is older. Mudryk was way before 5 years that I'm talking about. Even Gundogan was. I'm saying, like, I don't know how to explain it.
Lewis, do you know what's going down
My
on
bad, Scott.
Saturday yet?
But you'll
Yeah.
understand.
I'll message you.
Sweet.
One
I
sec.
think I understand what you mean in terms of it was more that last point I didn't say. I think I understand what you mean in terms of that nowadays it is more based on systems rather than the like an individual player, like individual players and their talent winning you games. The point that I got confused about, there was two things. Number one was the last point about like the players of today in terms of midfield and whatnot. Like you'll still get talented players and you'll still get players to that level. I think it's just far between. I agree. Nice. But I think that like within that system you still need talent because like we've seen it with teams and with systems. Like you look at Pep's team this season, for example, they're not as good because even though the system is basically the same, in fact is the same as last season, because they replaced the guys that left with worse players, they look worse as a team.
Like Gundogan was key, bro.
Yeah, like they lost Mahrez and Gundogan and replaced them with Kovacic and with Doku. Those aren't
Mahrez
comparable.
as well, mate. What a fucking on
Bro, like that's the thing. I don't think people realised. Again, it was similar to like I'm trying to think of it. Like it was. I can't even think of the right example. But like, I don't think people realised how important he was to that team because of how much Pep chopped and changed and swapped particularly his wingers out until this season because they've replaced him with Doku. And even though I think Doku's a decent player and can maybe turn into a great player, he's nowhere near the same. He's nowhere near as effective as Mahrez. And you're seeing like Haaland suffering.
No. That's my point, Scott. Like for example,
Mahrez had a shot on him.
It's more like by watching the games lately. It's more about like, it's not. You're not watching individuals' brilliance. You're watching how system. People saying like I will give you example of Arsenal versus Newcastle versus City game. There's literally nothing individually that came out of that game. That's why it looks like boring. But in the modern age, this is not supposed to be boring. You see what I'm saying? There's nothing. There's not like. There's no more. What I'm trying to will explain. What I'm trying to say is when I'm watching the games for the past 5 years, I don't see the game moment. I don't see the least moments in the game like Fabregas assist to Schürrle, like you know what I'm saying, like those moments are more and more disappearing from the game. They're present. I'm not saying they're completely gone, but I'm saying they are more and more disappearing. Those kind of brilliant vision of the game, brilliant. You know what I'm saying? I hope somebody fucking understand what I'm saying, because otherwise I just need to get off.
What do you think that like players a lot of these days, even technically gifted young players, being coached too much to the point where they can't really?
That's what I'm saying. Like I think even the talented kids that become like they're really talented, they will get killed that talent based on the system out of them.
I hear it.
You see what I'm saying? That's what it is, because at the end of the day, Fabregas was never a fast player, fast-paced player. What's his name? None of the midfielders of Barcelona greatest midfield were actually fast players.
No, they weren't.
But they're technical. As a matter of fact, the best creative midfielders
Jordi
always
Alba
the
was
slowest.
rapid, mate.
He's talking about midfielders.
Oh, yeah, sorry, bro.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is like the creativity in the game, the pleasure of the football kind of goes away. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I agree 100%. You see it when it seems robotic and too systematic. You're just like shit. That's why like low blocks and stuff. Yeah, like that's why we partly struggle against them, because we don't have that. Like besides Cole Palmer, who else is going to come up with something audacious to try and break down a low block?
And you know what's the funny part is, if somebody will make a pass into the winger's run between the two players, all of a sudden that's considered, oh my God, what did I just watch? The basically guy passed it between two players in the channel. You see what I'm saying? Like, oh my God. Like people are like, it's going to be on YouTube everywhere. Palmer did this. Do
you know what?
You see what I'm saying?
Do you know what I think the problem is as well, specifically with the problem we're talking about, or that Nathan mentioned with the low blocks? I think that that fans also have contributed to like the issues with that, if that makes sense. Where like if you go back a few years ago when social media wasn't as big or didn't exist as much or people didn't care as much, right? You had players like Mahrez, you had players like I'm trying to think of others off the top of my head. Even like Neymar in his prime and things like that. Like people didn't speak about these guys and think, oh, how many goals, assists are they getting? When you're seeing Neymar like
GA will never be. GA was never brought up.
Yeah, like when you're seeing like Neymar and Mahrez beat these guys on a dribble, opening up space, destroying guys like a Ben Arfa as well. We're not talking about GNA, and I think that's the problem. You've got guys who are still like that in the game today. Like I know,
but people
talk about the guys I'm about to mention, say they're flops, but you've got guys like Leao, Sancho. There are probably others off the top of my head I'm forgetting. Like Lamar looks like he can be that.
Leao is pace and power, man. Leao is a pace and power. I'm sorry.
He can still beat guys 1v1 on the dribble, even with that.
He can, but he uses pace, though, Scott.
Oh no, 100%. But he's still
better technical. He actually the same as Mudryk. He's just better at it.
100%, but he still has the technical ability to beat guys 1v1 on the dribble, and it's like the first thing you hear, because this is the way that football has gone with fans and with social media and whatnot. The first thing you hear about guys like these is like goals and assists. Like all we heard about Leao through the first half of this season, up until he scored, was he hasn't scored a goal so far. No one's talking about what he's doing on the football pitch, about whether he's had a good game, a bad game, whatever. It was cool. He hasn't scored a goal in however many games, because no one cares about anything else. No one cares that he can like take a defense and take out 3 of them instantly with a dribble. No one cares that Lamine Yamal can do that. It's he's scoring goals at 17. He's getting GNA at 17 in a Spain team or a Barca team. Like that's where we're at now, unfortunately. Like
but that's
it's why guys like Bruno and whatnot will get like respect, or not even respect, will get like bigged up as something special when they're not. They're dog shit players. They just get GNA, and it just sucks.
Even when the people saying like, low block or mid block, let's call it mid block. All you gotta do is disturb the pace of the game, and your job is done. Defensive midfielder, he's not actually doing anything special. He just needs to disturb the cohesion between 2 players. If he can break that cohesion, he will become the game will be turned into his favor. And on the stats of that game, that guy will become more successful not because what he did with the ball, it's what he did after ball. And that's why I'm coming to the thing that actually there's more and more data showing that what the players do after ball, that the coaches and teams look at it right now, than people actually doing on the ball. That's why another theory that because of that system, the creativity of the creativeness of the midfield is gone so far that you don't have the world proper number 9s developed at all. Because now you have you rely on players, and the past I don't know how long, but your most high representative players were wingers that create and then score the goals. If you think about it, there's no number 9 since Lewandowski and Harry Kane.
When you say no number 9, do you mean like old school number 9s, or do you mean like
old school? Yeah,
old school number 9 like forward.
I would argue that Lewandowski and Kane are not old school number 9s, because I think when I think of an old school number 9, I think of your like traditional poachers, your like Fox in the Box, your like Haalands, Lukaku's, like those type of players who aren't really offering much apart from scoring goals.
No. Well, Lewandowski
Quick question. How much do you reckon Jermaine Defoe would have been worth in this market if Ivan Toney's worth around 100 million?
I don't know. You can ask what's his name, Joe, when he comes, because Joe has to do with money. I don't know.
I still
be well up there.
No. I think Joe is actually good with money, so you can ask Joe that, because he's the only one that actually.
Someone always says to me who's a good. I remember particularly someone always just getting goals. Robbie Keane and Jermaine Defoe.
I'm saying that the money right now, it's not the value of the players. I mean, we're moving away from what I was talking about, but I'll answer you what I understand from what you're saying. So, for example, for me, Matt, the value of the player does not resolve his current position or his current how he can play. The value of the player right now, it's potentials. You're paying more for potentials than you're paying for the full complete football player. Does it make sense? So
Yeah.
for Fofana, you're not gonna be buying him based on how he is right now, because if you pay for the player that how he is right now, Chelsea wouldn't spend $1 billion on the team. Chelsea will spend even further of it. That's how much value of the player right now. But we potentially paid $1 billion. So Fofana on potential or right now? Right now, 40 max. Potentially, I don't know. Because look at how much Man United paid for potential.
Yeah, true.
And that's the thing, and I think the age thing as well, like you mentioned, Alex, is big because like you look at the whole Osimhen Tony debate, right? That has been had by Chelsea fans. Like for me, and people will disagree, but for me, I don't see enough of a difference between the two on a footballing level where you can say to me it's worth paying 100 million for Osimhen and it's not worth paying 70 million for Tony. The main reason, well, one of the main reasons, is the age. Is the fact that Tony is 29, has like potentially 2 or 3 years at the top level left. Osimhen has potentially 7. So like you're paying for that longevity, the potential of him hitting that, world class, potentially elite
You're
level.
basically more safe about the money you invest. If you invest in younger, you can have some kind of potential return on your investment. But if you sign Tony, it's possibly his last contract.
Yep.
So he will go for everything
That's
he can possibly can. That's it. That's the difference.
I do, as I said, I do agree with your point though, about like the potential thing. More often, and that's kind of where we're at in terms of the market and the state of football, is because again, you look at the general level of footballer of a certain age. Like if I'm just taking between, let's just say 25 to 28, I would say the level isn't great in terms of take away the top level talent, like take away like the top 10 players in the world in that age group. The rest is kind of meh. But you look at the guys coming through, your Bellinghams, your Miles, Endricks, your I'm trying to think of other guys in like kind of that bracket. It's gearing more towards having like a lot more talented younger players. So like most teams, are now banking on that potential.
You see, Scott, what's funny it is, like people, like the teams are by paying that much money for potential, they increase markets so badly that nobody is actually going to be. This is not a potential anymore. Look, for example, with what we paid for Enzo, let's say 115 million, right? It's not on some kind of crazy what's the name spreadsheet. It's actually a lot of money that we paid up front for him. So us paying on potential, not necessarily going to in the potential, like for example, even if he becomes the player that we think he will becomes, by the time that he develops and everything, who knows that is going to be the same valuation of the player. He could be the same evaluation and they can just get return on the money what they did, the best scenario. You know what I'm saying? Like the price of potential becomes price of complete football player.
Nearly.
And another thing, there is actually proving more my point. There's actually nobody valuable, nobody good in midfield than just buying the potential. As already set players, nobody.
Fuck.
Especially midfield, yeah.
Especially midfield, like in creative, like I swear, man, the last couple of times that I watched the game, not only Chelsea, across the board, I went to a local game, one of the small countries in Europe. It's embarrassing. I literally can see the same thing. 2 free passes to the winger, 2 free passes to the winger. I dare you to go to watch Sunday leagues, man.
Yeah.
Or go watch the league too, because it plays the same. So I'm kind of confused, and it's proving my point that the game goes system than actual individual footballs.
Yeah.
To be fair, on
Can't disagree
Saturday, it
with
felt
that.
like I was watching a Sunday league game.
It's
Oh,
more
especially-
physical. I agree with you. It's more physical, but
Yeah.
I think also as well with the midfield thing. Actually, I think with the midfield thing and just in general, when it comes to top clubs, I think we're at a stage, and again, this is because of what you mentioned about the market, and I think the market is in tatters because of what clubs have done to it. Whether it's the Mbappe transfer, the Coutinho transfer, Dembele, the Enzo Rice, like you could go on and on, right? You've either got to be willing to pay the big money for either like world-class potential or just the top level talent, or you've just got to take punts on guys who like are going to cost you significantly less, you know, your 30, 40
Yeah.
millions, but are complete unknowns in terms of top level. Like what Tottenham did with Johnson. Like this is
Or
a dude
Chelsea
who was
did with
playing
Jackson.
decently. Yeah, like what we did with Jackson, like what we did with, well, not like we did with Palmer. Not even those guys. What I kind of mean is the more experienced guys.
No,
right?
actually,
Actually,
Scott,
kind
you're
of
right.
unknowns as
Palmer
well.
is actually one of them, because Palmer considers still he's a
100%.
British.
Yeah, like
Andre
Palmer.
Santos as well.
Yeah, no, Santos is like the potential thing, but like that's different. But I'm talking like your Palmers, your Jacksons, what Tottenham did with Johnson.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of others as well, like what Arsenal did with like a Kivior, how that's turned out. Like you've just got to take punts on what are ostensibly random ass guys, like to most casual most casual fans, right? Like
Yeah.
even Gibbs White, right? That was laughed at when they signed him for whatever they signed him for at the time. Laughed at because this was a guy that didn't start consistently for Sheffield United, I don't think at the time, or was playing okay for them. Wasn't starting
Wolves,
obviously
wasn't
at Wolves. Wasn't
Yeah.
playing that often or playing that well. And Forest bought him for like what 40 million, and he's like their best player.
Scott,
And
I think
they're almost certainly, by the way,
yes,
going to at least break even on him.
yes, that's
At
what that's my point. My point is that the final price of potential is pretty much the same price of established. But the problem is nowadays football clubs are not gonna get the complete player for that amount of money, because because of one specific reason. Even with those older players, they tend to run their contract down now. So, for example, if we get Tony, and let's say he will become a 34 years old striker that's still decent, he will run his contract just because he knows that he will get the payoff at the end of it. Look at people saying Jorginho said Jorginho ain't go nowhere from Arsenal until he's free.
No, I think he might be signing an extension, if anything.
No. That's what I'm saying. Like it doesn't matter. It's in his interest. The older players usually, remember when it used to be not. Now they have a better benefit of finish their contract and get the bonus than anything. Another thing, I don't know if y'all heard about it. It was yesterday. Was supposed to be the #1 hall meeting of Chelsea Football Club.
Oh, that town hall meeting crap.
Town hall meeting. Yeah, I was listening from the beginning. It was funny in the beginning until Sash came in, and she's asked some decent question, and I'm grateful she's actually did it. But it proved me one thing: if you have a pretty face, you will definitely get picked out of the crowd quicker.
Oh, of
And if
course.
you're ugly guy, ugly fuck, and nobody's gonna add you to the speaker. That's
I
just
heard Bear
one
Man were
thing.
trying to get on that stream, but they're
Yeah.
only letting their little favorites on there.
So, as much as I
They're not
want
an
to
Arsenal
talk,
fan on that.
yeah. They let Arsenal fan, yeah, from New York, by the way, from Brooklyn.
I had Peter Griffin on there, so I was already like, I can't be
So
arsed.
anyway, so my thing was in it, and it was like there's a guy saying that like how much that bully does it with the specific group of fans that they connect and everything, and he's saying that how much they do better than what it was. in the previous regime, and that's all good. Like, don't get me wrong, wheelchair people needs to have a connection with the club. Everybody needs a connection with the club because you do have a broad. You wanted the big fan support. You have to take care of the big fan support like the big club. So I agree with him. They needed what they doing. I didn't know that there was there. I didn't know that there was some kind of fight between Chelsea fans, something, and the ownership on the paper, some kind of letter. But that's not my point. My funniest moment of the whole situation was, and I couldn't ask that question, but since everybody agreed, like everybody from 3 different people that were there that running that thing, none of them actually knew what's the Todd Bowley strategy. Like, what are we doing? Like, what's the strategy? Are we, you know what I'm saying? Like, are we 25 years old club? Or we, what is it? Nobody knew. And my question was to them was one, all of you, 3 people that were there that running that thing, funny thing is, you have access to the board because they said that they had meetings with the board members. They had meetings with the sporting directors. And one thing that everybody in the fan base do not know, 99.99%, don't know what are we doing, and none of them ask that question to about the strategy. What are our new ownership strategy towards Chelsea? Are we a growing club and selling club? Are we? What are we? What kind of football we're looking for? What kind of things we're looking for? All 3 of them said that that's the problem that we had with the current situation. We did not need to buy everybody under 23. Everybody agree with that. But none of those fuckers that had access to any of those people, and I call those people because those people that run in the club, and they cannot ask, they did not ask them a question. There's a pure blunt question to him. Are you on the Chelsea's payroll? He's like, not anymore, but I used to be. I used to be a writer for Chelsea Football Club under Roman Abramovich. And with the new ownership, are you allowed to go on a press conference? Yes. What the fuck do you not ask that question?
Oh, it is about the space yesterday.
Yes.
Now, them man will never ask the tough questions because I'll never get let back.
No, they won't.
Oh,
Same thing with
at
Arsenal.
the end of the day, I got to the guy. I got to the one of them. And he's like, wow, I never thought of that way. I was like, wow, why you get paid then? Do you see what I'm saying? 3 people that supposedly run the Chelsea's town hall meeting, you can go have access to the one of those 2, the highest hierarchy, whatever that name word is, to either specific board members or sporting directors, and none of them could ask that kind of one question. And what a surprise! Today, thing came out after all that space yesterday, and everybody was saying that nobody knows the direction. All of a sudden, Forbes comes up with the piece on Todd Bowley, which was laughable as the response in the first place. Laughable what Todd Bowley said about it. Like I swear, man, the guy needs to be shut up and don't make sense. Just let somebody else talk, because 443, it's pretty much the same.
Yeah, a lot of the things he says in the media just feels performatory, so I can't be bothered to listen to any of it.
It feels Hollywood.
You just gotta believe. You just gotta believe in the process. I'm not believing in nothing while you have this guy in charge.
I was laughing when the first summer came in, and there's what's his name? One of the either Metla or somebody said that what's his name? That Todd Bowley does not see bad how you said bad in the media, bad reports. Like he doesn't see it. It's still Chelsea. You know what I'm saying? Chelsea's on people's mind. He doesn't see bad media is a bad thing. It's about, I remember. It's when we missed on that defender from the win Barcelona. I forgot his name.
Christensen.
No.
Oh, Kunde. Koundé.
Koundé, yes.
Sure.
Remember that mess with Koundé?
Yep.
Yep. Well, that's what. Any publicity. Thank you, Danish Maldini. Like, thank you, chat, for helping me with English, because I haven't used English in a while, and it's like becomes even more harder to say it. Anyway,
Rusty,
there's no bad publicity for Todd Bowley.
Yeah.
There's no bad publicity. And I'm not saying Todd Bowley is at fault. I actually think that the two morons that convince him that that's the system that's the approach that we need to approach. I think that's the problem. I'm not saying we did, like, for example, like, we didn't have to get rid of all those players at once. We didn't. And people saying, like, there was a guy saying, like, well, even on Abramovich we had problems. Yes, but Abramovich rebuilt the team how many times? He did have a record to it.
A lot of those players did want to leave, though. That's the only thing I would say about
I was
that.
gonna say, that's the only bit I disagree with you,
that's
I
the
think
thing.
most of them had to
No,
leave
Scott.
when they left.
There's only one that actually wanted to leave really, really bad. And it was not Mount. It was not, what's his name? It was
Havertz?
actually Kova.
Yeah, it was Kovacic.
The only player that
Havertz.
wanted to leave, it was Kova. The other two, due to the money, due to the contract thing. But Kova wanted to leave, doesn't matter what.
In Cova's defense,
he was the first who wanted to leave.
he did celebrate Palmer's goal.
But, like, what was it? As we got to summer, Mount wanted to leave because they couldn't get the
I was
contract.
going to say there were more that wanted to leave. Like
Havertz,
Ziyech
same
wanted
reason.
to leave, Pulisic wanted to leave. Like a bunch of these guys wanted to leave.
Yeah. But Ziyech,
Penalty Everton. Nice. You gotta
Nice.
find that.
I think a lot of these guys wanted to leave anyway, and that's what I say. I don't think the guys that left. I think most of them needed to go anyway. Like there was a couple of players that would have kept.
But nobody had to go that summer specifically.
I disagree. I think most. I think
Ruben, I wouldn't have minded keeping. If we could sort out Kante's contract, I wouldn't have minded.
Ruben, I would have
as much as people wanted to do whatever the Mount, the thing is, the only players that if Kova wanted to leave that bad, Kova could leave. Jorginho left actually in January because of no playing, whatever. But what's his name? Mount did not have to leave. Kai Havertz, yes, maybe no, neither warm or hot. Like he will still be better than somebody that we have right now. Kante, but my thing, I mean, no, I'm saying like, I'm trying to give you. I'm not saying that I wanted him to stay. I'm saying like, if you think about it, to not make that drastic drop, like where mass exodus, like Moses left Egypt. Kante
1-1.
We could have done everything possibly can to keep Kante.
We did. He didn't want to reduce his wages.
No.
That's where I disagree with you. Of like Mount had to leave because if he didn't leave, he'd have had to sign new contracts, which he wasn't going to do. Which means if he wasn't signing a new contract, he would have played this season, and this would have been his final year. His contract would be up this summer, and like I'm sorry, this season for United has shown nothing.
And we probably wouldn't buy Lavia because of it. And I'm
that's
okay
cool,
with
but
it.
then Mount. Yeah, that's cool. Look at Mount's injury record from this season.
But
look at how much he's just played like his second, third game recently, and where he got that goal against Brentford. Like, I understand what like some of the things you're saying, Alex, but when it comes to the outgoing,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not specifically on Mount. I'm not only like specifically Mount. I'm saying the whole exodus could be slower.
I think, as I said, all of them. The only two I would have kept under the right circumstances are Ruben and Kante. Unfortunately,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
they're the only two, though. They're the only two, and unfortunately, with Kante, like because of the whole contract situation, it was never going to work. Like, it was quite clear from both sides that a contract wasn't going to be signed, and I think again with the Ruben thing, it was like, I think as much as I wanted to say, I think him moving on. I think him moving on was the best for all parties at the time.
Scott, hold on. And like yes, Kante moving on. Yes, the question is, you're saying that it's because it was based on the both parties. Maybe Chelsea's side should be more. You know what? We can afford to take 100K more weekly hit by keeping him, then dramatically change the midfield. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can accept the hit of Kante by saying, like, for example, when, based on what you said, they didn't agree on, like, for example, on salary, because I do remember that thing that says that Kante, like, the salary wise, Chelsea wanted to lower his wages and stuff like that. I understand that, but I'm saying, like, what if
No, didn't we want to put him on a game by game basis? Like,
I don't know,
There
and
were
I'm
a
not
few
gonna
reports. I
speculate.
think,
Yeah,
as I
appearance
said, there were
incentivized contract. I
there
was
was a
hearing
few
things
reports.
about.
There was appearance incentivized. I think there was a pay cut, but I don't remember how much it was too. Like,
Yeah,
there
yeah,
were
yeah.
a
That's
bunch
what
of
I'm
reports.
saying. So what I'm saying is, like, what if they would take, like, you know what I'm saying? Some things you can afford to take the hit on. And I think Kante, as much as I think, like, that's the one that you should be taking
honestly,
consideration of taking a hit
Do
financially.
you know why I also disagree? And we can have this argument now because of where we stand and what's happened this season.
we can have out
Like,
later.
I don't know if we could have. I don't know if we could. Like, you probably couldn't have had this in the summer, like before. Well, we did actually last season. Even if we'd signed Kante to a no contract and he'd been here this season, he'd have been injured just as much as everyone else because he
Yeah,
was
literally.
already injury prone prior. He was already relied on way too
Well,
much.
that's
prior.
that's
would have been
actually
relied
not
upon.
true. No, Scott. After the surgery, he actually did not have as many injuries as it was.
He literally got injured after having the surgery after coming back because Lampard overplayed him. And played
Yeah,
him right wing.
yeah. But that was not the same injury. That
I'm
was
pretty
the
sure P. I'm
No, but
pretty
he
sure
still
P.
got
Diddy
injured.
was running our
That's he still
medical
got
team.
injured. He still got injured because he was over relied upon and overplayed by Lampard. Poch, as we've
Danish
seen this
Maldini, yeah,
season,
with this medical team, yeah.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. And with Poch as well. Like, if we'd had a different manager, if our medical situation and our injuries were different this season, I could hear the argument, right? Because that was my biggest thing about Kante with the contract last season. Is
Actually,
I did not
Scott,
want
I don't
him.
think it's actually only Chelsea. I think the whole football, it's gonna bring up the
Oh,
system
potentially. Like,
versus
I think
individually, because look how many injuries. Nobody can sustain this healthy squad.
that's because of the games as well. The amount of games that's being played.
That's what I'm
nuts.
saying. Well,
Yeah.
the games and the way they play in the high press, the gegen press that the people trying to play nowadays. I don't care, man. You
Lewis, who do
expose
you want
your
to win,
young.
West Ham or Spurs?
Spurs, if anything.
Spurs, yeah.
We need it.
Oh,
So
Also,
I don't
Danish
know. I
Kante
think
has
like
been
there's
injured this season. Kante got injured in the Saudi League this season. So, like, he's
yeah,
even
but
in
it was
the
not
league
as
well
bad
already.
as it was.
have
No,
you
but,
seen
like,
that
he's
Martinez
still-
is out injured for Man U?
Yeah,
He is,
Martinez
he
is out.
But, like,
Varane's
he's
out,
still
Lindelof.
and
And
Lindelof.
that's the thing. Like, I as I said, if the medical situation, the injury situation was different, I could hear the argument about Kante. And as I said, if you'd found the right circumstances to keep Kante and Ruben, even, I know you'll disagree, even Jorginho for the experience thing,
Oh,
doesn't
I
have to
think
play.
Jorginho would have been the best right now for
Yeah,
Chelsea.
like, and that's what
You
I'm
know
saying.
why?
Even, not even to
No.
play.
I can
Not even
stand
to
the
play.
player.
Oh my God, Antonio's
I
so
can
shit.
I can stand the player.
Oh,
I can
fuck.
stand
Being restarted.
the idiot. But one thing, he will become eventually a manager, and he will be a decent one, because he does. You know, one thing I can tell you for free. Every doctor likes to teach. No matter how many questions you'll ask the physician, he will always have like his eyes pop up, because we all want to teach, because that amount of time that we went to school to study, you have to give that knowledge too. Same thing with Jorginho. The reason why I think Jorginho will do good in this team, not necessarily because he's the way he's going to play, the way he's going to direct it.
100%.
That's what we don't have it.
Yeah, like, and that's the thing, and that's what I say. In the right circumstances, there's a couple of guys, but most of them needed to leave. The problem is the replacements you made in terms of not necessarily ability wise. It's more like what you lacked off the pitch and mentally and stuff like that.
Kepa shoots wide.
that we didn't replace. Not necessarily the talent, because I think most of the guys we replaced, like, and Nkunku's an improvement on Mount, for example. Gusto's obviously an improvement on Azpilicueta. I think Disasi's an improvement on Koulibaly, for example. Like, you could go on and on, right? But it's the like intangible stuff I think we didn't replace with the guys we lost.
Yes. Here's the thing. There's what people don't understand, that what I'm talking about. Like, for example, the thing that people don't get it is, like, for example, when the things go bad, like we conceding a goal within right after you scored, and you need the calm head. Those are the characters that you don't have in a team. Like, as much as I don't think what's his name, Azpilicueta is a captain material, but he will be a better solution, even though he's not as good as Gusto. Mentality-wise, that's what we're missing at Chelsea right now.
He'll be able to keep them switched on in those moments.
No, I'm saying in specific situations within the game. When we, like, do you see the speeds of the game when Chelsea is under pressure and our defense looks like a freaking what's the name? Pile of ants? Like, everybody's run, nobody knows what they're doing.
Yeah, like I know the moments you're talking. Like, I know what you're talking. Like, as Azpilicueta in those moments will be one of the players, and it'll be the same with like guys like Jorginho as well and whatnot.
Exactly,
where, like,
Jorginho.
They'll be able to, like, and it was the same with like Rudiger when we had them. And this comes back to a point I've made in the past when it comes to Poch in this team. Like, they'll be able to take the sting out of those moments by doing the like shithousery, dark arts nonsense. Like in the cup final, right? I spoke about this after the cup final where we lost on pens. No, we didn't lose on pens, sorry, with the Van Dijk goal, wherever it was. One of the things we lack in this team when it comes to mentality is that shithousery, dark arts stuff that we used to have with like Rudiger, like that we used to have like David Luiz. Even though some of these guys we had as well weren't the best, that having that a bit like Azpilicueta toward the end, even though he was past it garbage in terms of actual footballing ability, the stuff he could do in terms of the dark arts nonsense, like the shithousery, was useful in moments where you needed it. When you needed to see out games, when you needed to a bit of calmness after you just scored, when you needed to get to penalties in a cup final.
Even Alonso has it.
Yeah, same with Alonso. Yeah, like Alonso had it as well. He was a scumbag. Like, when it comes to that, he was a scumbag. We don't have that.
I love Xabi Alonso.
No, Marcus
Alonso.
Yeah,
but that's
what I meant. Marcus actually, Alonso. What did I say? What did I say?
You said Xabi.
You said Xabi.
Oh, sorry, bro. I'm fucking watching this game, bro.
Yeah, like that's probably the biggest thing we lack in this team is like having those type of players. Like, having those players that know how to do that. Like, we don't. I can't think of a single person on our team actually that knows how to do that.
Actually, one. He gets yellow cards for no freaking reason.
Yes, bro. What are you telling me?
Only one person.
Are you talking about Caicedo or Jackson?
Jackson.
Oh, ball across the face of goal.
Actually, I'd argue Jackson and Caicedo have it a bit, but the problem they've got is
Correa has more than Caicedo.
I could actually agree. The thing, what I was going to say about Jackson and Caicedo,
go on, Everton.
I agree with you about Jackson. I'd say about both of those is I'd say that they have it, but they're, because of how young they are, they're a bit naive.
It's because the position on the field is here's the thing. Jackson has those things, but he's not in the position where you need those kind of things, abilities.
But the thing I'd argue though with Jackson is I think he has it, but he has the tendency, because of how young he is, where he goes too far with it, if that makes sense. So like, it goes from
and the position on the field. Positions on the field.
Even that. It's just the petulance. Like, it goes from being like, you saw how Costa was, right? Costa was very rarely petulant with it because he was experiencing how to experience it a lot. Like, he could occasionally, but most of the time he was.
Oh yeah, I'm saying like in the forward position.
About, yes, that's what I mean. In terms of Jackson, he has it, but sometimes because of his age, goes too far and goes into the petulant, like, the pushing, the constant, the stupid nonsense. You know what I mean? Like,
well, technically, he's not even pushing getting yellow cards. He's getting yellow cards for our.
Yeah, but like that sort of stuff. Yeah, the way.
My point. Why I don't consider why I'm saying he's in the wrong position to do it is because I'm specifically talking about pile of ants within defensive thing happening. We have every game 2 or 3 times
1-1
when Chelsea looks like the pile of ants in defense. And that's when you need that little bit of treasury to stop it. You know what I'm saying? Jackson is not in a position to change that because he's too up on the field. You're right. Rudiger had it. Aspilicueta had it. Alonso had it. None of these players had it besides Cucurella. And Cucurella, it's like, even like the haircut maybe is too not to be that kind of person. But anyway, that's I'm saying, like, basically, if we proceed in the way we're proceeding right now, I don't see us being for the next season. For the next season, I can give you predictions. We're going to be in the same predicament.
Would you say then in the summer that, because obviously we've been linked to a left back and a centre back, would you say that one attribute of either position or both positions we get is that kind of shithousery, dark art stuff?
The only hope I have, if we have a proper defensive manager added to the team. I'm not talking about specifically set pieces. I'm talking about the way Pochettino set up defense. That's the biggest problem for me, because that pile of ants look alike. It's happening within the game too many times for my liking. That's number one. Number two, how many times I've been screaming from this position and saying, look, even if we score, we concede it within 5 minutes. And we don't learn. We concede within 5 minutes, right after we score. So when people say only if we have a dinner finished, no, that's no such a thing. It's a myth that if we would score our chances, we will still have a good result. No, it's not true. What was the minute when Chelsea went 2-1?
I don't know.
Like near 80th minute. Let me check.
And we draw the game 2-2.
Yeah, didn't we concede?
78 minutes we scored. 78 minutes was the second, and 81 minutes was the equaliser.
3 minutes later, we literally concede the goal from set pieces.
From a corner again, by the way.
Yep.
Again, I like, and people are like, Joe was here. He was like, the way we defend, we are like semi. No, we are zonal. I can see it from the freaking mile away.
The way we set up defensively, both on set pieces and just in general, I realized that after the game against Burnley. I didn't really get to speak my opinions on the game. Obviously, I was away, but like that's the biggest thing I've taken away from this season. Like, I don't want to talk about the misses. I don't want to talk about the attacking players. I don't even want to talk about the midfield when it comes to going forward. Every issue at the moment I have with Poch comes from defensive structure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know what makes it worse is it's the same stuff I hear from United fans talking about Ten Hag. Like, the defensive structure is awful. It's terrible. Like, we somehow managed to expose.
Because it's the system that we play.
Go on.
That's what I'm talking about, Scott. That's the high press game. That's the high press game.
Even with high pressing, you don't have to get exposed defensively if you do it well and know how to do it.
I'm saying yes, you're right. You don't have to be exposed, but the problem is it's like a poker. It's the risk. By high pressing, if you don't succeed, you will get
only 2-1 Wolves,
and you are going to like those presses work. And one thing that people fail to mention, those things when you high press and they come out of press, that means that your defensive structure has to be on such a high point, number one, and nobody likes to defend on the highest on the what's the name on the heels. defenders do not like to be defending on the what's the name on the heels.
On the back foot.
Yeah, on the back heels, because it's nearly impossible. We're running at you at 100 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm. On a side
And
note,
you have to run him backwards. Chelsea's biggest problem is actually inviting the pressure way too deep.
Oh,
way too deep.
Antonio! Oh my gosh! He's gone straight into the keeper.
Like it annoys me
Antonio is
when like
such a donkey,
we come out of
mate. I'd be
games, and this is
so
why, like I
fuming
said,
if he
I mentioned about
It was right there.
this is why I mentioned like about the defense as well. When it's like I see people after the game talking about the Burnley game, and I see people talking about like the Sterling chance, and we had chances to kill the game. Like, stop talking about the chances we had to kill the game, because like you're not going to score all your chances. Talk about the fact that we conceded twice to 19th Burnley. Talk about the fact that defensively our structure is arse and has been the whole season. Talk about the fact that statistically we've conceded nearly 2 goals every game.
That's my point. And I'm a defender. Yeah. And I'm telling you, one of the worst partnership I've saw at Chelsea between those two, and between, especially from that big ass forehead.
Bad issue.
I am so confused. Like, remember I told you once again, there's the 2 ways I rate the players. When you come to the league and you become a really good player first year, those kind of players I'm judging the second year, because like, you know, Cinderella stories, like you become blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I'm rating them next year. The ones that have a bad season, I'm rating them because I want to give them time after 1 year. You know what I'm saying? So there's 2 ways I'm going to look at this Chelsea squad. And I'm sorry, but Enzo is been 1 year. What's his name? Mudryk.
He was good last season, though. It just shows he ain't played right.
But that's not necessary. That's, again, I'm not saying I want him out. I'm saying there is a responsibility to be asked for.
And he still could be better too.
Yeah. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying I want him out. I'm saying like I have my I'm waiting. You know what I'm saying? That's my point. Because if you think about it, the offensive ways we still can do better if we get a genuine good finisher. But with defensive structure, I do not see progression whatsoever, because we cannot keep the clean sheet.
But Alex, even so, like, I actually disagree with the striker thing now after watching the game against Burnley, because it's like you can't. No team in the world, even Liverpool, right? They had guys scoring goals consistently and would still lose games 4-3 because they couldn't defend for shit, because their goalkeeper wasn't good enough and their defense wasn't good enough. To fix that and to win the league, they signed the best. They signed Alisson and Van Dijk. That's who they signed to win the league.
Or Kevin Keegan's Newcastle. That's his motto.
Yes, Fraser. Every player I'm rating on those two
and that's the thing. It's like, even if we sign a striker, even if we sign a striker, and I still want, no, it's cool. I'd still do want another striker. Well, maybe another striker or an attacking. I want another attacking player in the summer. That doesn't fix anything if our defense is still arse next season. If we don't sign someone who's defensively solid as a coach, like it means
the first time Petrovic committed a fault, committed error that actually considered the goal.
Exactly, but even with that error, and it's a horrible error. Again, it comes across from a set piece where we don't defend it properly, because Madueke loses his man and Enzo's just marking space. Like, I was taught as a kid, right? And we're talking 11, 12 years old. I was taught as a kid, space can't score, a player can. You should never be marking space.
I told the same thing. But you
can't mark space. You're just doing. If you're marking space, you're doing nothing. You're just marking an area where there's no one in it. Like, that's nonsense.
Here's the thing that literally happens when you play a pickup games time to time, and when we play in a small goals, we don't play with the goalkeepers. The last person, like a goalie without hands, you cannot block with hands. So if you play like a small games, like 5-5 or 6 versus 6 on the 4-foot goals, the last person is a goalie, but he cannot use his hands. So since I'm playing from the
Palace.
back, and we get encountered, the person in front of me gets to run with the player runs at him with the ball. There's another one runs on the side, winger. So the guy, the guy literally leaves him run towards me and runs towards to cover the winger. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how idiotic people are becoming, like, in defensive thinking. Like, because everybody wants to be a strikers, everybody wants to be Messi's. They don't know how to defend. And this is my exactly good what you just said, Scott. The game is played with the ball, not with the shadow. The threat will always be the ball. Leave the person on the side alone.
Right, a big up to Brian Holiday as well. I'm sorry I didn't get to read your super chat. He says, I think teams found that it was easier dealing with the modern press and low blocks by relying on passing patterns over individual brilliance. That's definitely been where football's been going over the last few years.
But here's the thing.
Coach,
here's the thing. Here's the biggest thing, Lewis. This is good. But when you go into offensive game, you will be relying on individual brilliance. Not the creativity or how you got there. You're going to rely on ability of the player in the
that will get you into the position.
Exactly.
But you have to still be able to do well.
The system gets you into that position.
Big up the troops, by G. Big up.
I didn't watch the game, the Arsenal City game, but like seeing the reception about it online, like that was literally the problem of, like, you've got an Arsenal team who can not play through City, but can get at City. But like,
all you gotta do is break the pattern.
Because of their system, they can get at City.
Full time.
They
don't. We're down to 12.
They don't go any further, bro. We're lucky, by the way, that Forest are beating Fulham. Otherwise, we'd be 13th.
Right.
But yeah, like, they aren't going and doing the stuff in the final third because they've got guys like Havertz and Jesus. Like, they haven't got the individual talent.
Arsenal doing all right because fucking they're actually getting a fucking slight tune out of Havertz, mate, and we ain't managed to do that for shit.
No, but he's still
Havertz is still a better team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Not, again. This is why when I talk about the Havertz, people, like, when I really want to talk about the Havertz at Arsenal, it's different than what people view. What Havertz does is not what he actually good at. It's, again, what they're using him and how they're using him. They literally using him as a pawn for the other better players around them. They use him as a pawn, and big up to Arteta for doing it. But they're not using them how we used to use them. That's number one. They're not using them in creative way. Number two, he's not the one that the final jig in a puzzle that makes Arsenal a good. To give you what's the final jig in a puzzle, it's the actual partnership between Saliba and what's his name, that fake ass hair from Brazil that had the
Gabriel.
That's what actually more impressive in that team, because the Arsenal team, we scored 6 goals for the 3-4 games against Shedder's team. That's not what impressive. The partnership of those two impresses me. As a defender, they understand each other. That partnership is something to be watched for, unless somebody gonna come out and pay substantial amount of money and breaking it. But that's what actually serious on what's his name?
Do you know why that is, though? Because they're bonded through trauma. Imagine having to have a training session, listen to the Liverpool "You'll Never Walk Alone" session for the whole entire training session. That's trauma.
Our players are bonding through trauma with Poch's training regimen.
Yeah.
I think Gabriel had more trauma with the hairline than listen to the Liverpool. And Saliba is the actual pivot, because Saliba is the actual the whole thing. What is the best? Like, I'll say 70% on No, 60% on Saliba, 40% on Gabriel. But Gabriel is the one that has to be what he has to be, because the creativity comes from the right side more than it comes from the left. So what Gabriel does, what nobody's mentioning, is literally what Xhaka did it in defensive awarenesses. Because Kai Havertz, everybody knows Kai Havertz ain't it. Gabriel does it. He's the aggressor on the defensive line. He's the one that presses high. He's the one that commits more fouls. Because everybody attacking because Saliba is literally the best young defender right now that I see in any league. He's the best. And I can tell you that with, like, I watch the guy, I watch the move, I watch his awareness. The guy is brilliant. Brilliant. But Gabriel gets all the props because Gabriel does that dirty thing that Scott was talking about in defense. Nobody noticed. But Gabriel is the one that does it, not Saliba. Gabriel always moans. Gabriel always the one that actually sneaky job, sneaky dirty, like a stamp on the foot.
There's always one calm one and one dirty
Exactly.
one in the partnership. We've seen that in our back twos before. Which reminds me of Rudiger and Christian. Oh, nearly a chance there.
So that was my like 5 cents about the Arsenal.
Oh, Kudus, go on, Kudus. Wow.
Jeez.
You know what else is funny that people don't pay attention to?
What?
Is what I said from the beginning. People saying like, "Oh, Manchester City was the biggest threat," and I was like, "No, Manchester City will always be a threat to Arsenal winning the league. The biggest problem Arsenal have right now, it's the 3-horse race. It's not two. As good as they played, like they come like, oh yeah, we got a point at Etihad. We didn't do it. Is how hard you played against City just to realize that you became second. You know what I'm saying? That mental thing that like, man, we did everything just to go home and realize that. You see what I'm saying? That's demoralizing. Demoralizing.
They're probably trying to back on the fact that Liverpool got a lot of youngsters and they reckon they'll catch up with them. They think we'll get the draw today and we'll make up with the last game, because I think Arsenal have the least hard run out of the lot. I think.
Yeah, I think they do.
Because realistically, they've got
Arsenal have the easier run.
We a hard game at their ground.
City have the easiest run.
Oh, do they?
Do
Yeah,
they?
City definitely have the easiest run.
Well, what's City's hardest game left?
Like Tottenham away. They got Villa at home tomorrow, and bar that, they should win every other match.
I think everybody is going to still drop a few points. There's 9 games left. I think all the 3 teams are actually going to still lose the game or two.
Next season, though, away day at Ipswich if they get promoted. That's where I live, isn't it? Pretty much.
Hey, I'll back it. Hopefully, Poch is gone by then.
Yeah.
I think it's an Arsenal and Liverpool's hands actually. Title. I think it's between those two more than a City. And people keep saying like, "Oh my God!" Like as much as I rate City, I rate Pep in that City team more than I rate City itself. And people saying like, "Oh, that's the City. They won a treble. That's the City." Arsenal. Tell you the truth, it was little bit. If it was on me and I criticize it, I think Arsenal squad was better suited to win their game than City's. Because Arsenal defense is better than City's defense. I don't care what they're saying. Arsenal defensive line is better. As many injuries as they had, Arsenal had a really good forward line. I think Arteta a little bit went way too. I can understand him being pragmatic for 70 minutes. I'm surprised he didn't go all the way out in 20 minutes left. I'm surprised because you see that City did not do nothing offensively. Nothing. Haaland was... Yeah, Fraser, I agree. That's why I said Chelsea is going to draw or lose the game. Chelsea plays better than international game breaks. And guess why? The teams that play bad on the international break after international breaks are the ones that actually not go into international breaks and play it. That game time, game reaction is really effective players. For example, Gallagher, he did not play a minute for international, right?
Yeah. No,
Did
he
he
played.
even go?
No, he played.
Yeah,
He
no, he
played.
did.
He
He
played,
did
yeah,
play.
against
I know he
Brazil.
did. Yeah, no, he did. He was shit. I remember he got spun
Yeah, he
by
was terrible.
Kepa.
No. I'm
Yeah,
saying
he
like,
played.
is that like, you know, when you don't play for 2 weeks, you become kind of like a game rusty.
Yeah.
Chelsea has less players on the international breaks, so they staying at the Cobham and play with Pochettino. I don't know what they're doing, so I'm assuming they're playing around the
Running.
grill. So
Running and
that's why I
barbecues.
expected. Saka skipped international break and he played like shit against City.
Yeah, but wasn't he having bleeding knees or something like that?
Bleeding knees.
I don't
You
know.
mean scratch? The
Well,
official
maybe.
diagnosis
No, he's
is a
had that
scratch.
injury gimmick for ages.
Oh, I thought I heard something about he's bleeding.
I
Yeah,
think Foden is playing in the wrong position. Every
Yeah,
time I see
same
that guy needs to be playing in the center midfielder
Oh,
position.
100%. You could see.
Yeah,
You could see
yep.
in the game against on.
I
on
can see it in the
international.
game. I'm surprised Pep Guardiola did what he did, and that's why I'm saying like sometimes Pep Guardiola overthinks, and he overthinks
Alex,
it
you know
in the
what's?
bad moments.
I was gonna say, but it's like funnily enough, you could see the moments where, like, I said this on the watch long in the Belgian game, the game against Belgium. Like, he was playing almost as like a second 10 with Bellingham, and we had no width apart from
Yes.
Chilwell, and it was like, but it was working in terms of the team itself wasn't working, like in terms of that left hand side because it was just Chilwell. But Foden looked good in the center when he was linking up play with Bellingham because he works better in that central position. Like, yeah, and it just makes sense, like, for him to be in that midfield, especially with De Bruyne out. Like, play him. He can't beat a guy really consistently 1v1 on the dribble. So, like, cool. So you're losing that aspect of him being out on the wing, which you will get from a Grealish. You will get, even though his final decision is poor, you'll get that from a Doku, which offers you something different to break down teams that you face. And then you get that creativity and the quick 1-2 passing, from Foden in the middle that you might miss from a Silva if you need to rest him, or a De Bruyne or whatever.
I think that, like, Fraser, I agree. What's his name? Gundogan. You missing Gundogan, but I don't think the Gundogan is how to explain it in English. But the Gundogan, if he was, you will not tell me the Gundogan, if he was at City right now, he will do the same shit, the same as good as he was doing the last season. You can't tell me that, because at the end of the day, that trip, like, the hardest thing for the managers and for any kind of manager is actually inspire players. It's really hard to do, especially when you reach the potential. What was the highest thing for City to do last season? What they did, win a treble, right? What do you do after that? When you reach the levels of Halle Berry, what's that to reach?
Double treble? Actually, no, you try to go for a quad, but that ain't happening.
Yeah, you will end up with nothing when you go on. That's the risk. You will end up with nothing.
It's a good pass. Yeesh.
And the funniest part is, our City's team that became won the treble was the City's team that at the last age of the City, they need the rebuild, right? Everybody keeps saying that they need a rebuild, especially in that midfield. And the
I think more so
creativity is
now,
not coming.
we've done a season without them.
Creativity is not coming.
I think last season they were saying that because there was rumors of Gundogan and Mahrez leaving. It's just obviously that ended up happening.
Tyler, if I'll tell you Monica Bellucci, you will have to Google that person. But that's my ooh la la.
I forgot what she looks like. One sec. Ah, Faz. Ah, Faz.
Oh la la, who?
There he is. There he is.
There it is. Miss Fatur.
Oh la la, who?
Google Monica Bellucci.
Oh, the Bond girl.
Oh,
She
Who?
was. She
Who
was
is she?
more.
West Ham block is really
She
good.
was more.
Oh, post! Oh.
Matrix. She was one of the Matrix. But the best movie I've watched before, it's called Malena. Watch Malena. Great
I'll be
movie.
real. On a side note, I genuinely, Taylor, if they sign Pochettino, that's probably the best signing they can make in the summer.
Yeah, he's been good
Oh,
this
yeah,
game as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
As long as he
That's
don't get banned.
that's legit. If they want to try and rebuild, that's the best signing they can make in the summer. Him and a proper winger, like an experienced guy, like where you don't have to rely on Doku or Alvarez
Fraser,
or
is
whatever.
that 300 million after 115 or before 115?
All right, 10 more minutes left of this game, and just Spurs cannot break down West Ham to save their lives. Smith Meta, that could happen, but it'll get ruled out for offside. Hold that.
On a real, I don't care. If it happens, it happens. Like,
Yeah, like, I can't be hurt any more than I've been hurt this season.
Yeah, we've been struggling for ages now, bro.
Good. I've seen some
Like,
news on Colwell, though. Colwell might be back for the City semi-final.
You know what? I just
cool.
while we're shit though, I just try to see this as fucking character building, bro.
It's
Probably
hard to-
for us, yeah.
it's hard to
Yeah.
fix.
That is demoralising.
Sometimes in life you got to take a couple steps back to fucking take a few
Hey,
steps
that
forward.
16 turn will never go away, isn't it?
We haven't even
It's just-
taken a step back, though.
Yeah,
We're
I
in
was gonna
12th
say,
again.
I was gonna say
It's here.
it's just that we've decided to start sprinting backwards.
Ole. Backwards again, ole, ole. Backwards again, backwards again, backwards Chelsea, ole, ole.
Yeah, Fad, did you have a good time on Saturday?
Oh, yeah.
Does he ever have a bad time?
Timo off.
No, you don't.
Exactly. I like seriously. My life was slightly different, adjusted within than Fatur's. I didn't have time to do what Fatur does. I wish I did. Jealous as fuck. But every time I watch, I'm looking actually for Fatur on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally like, hey,
Every
yo.
home game of it. There he is.
Yeah, there
There
it is. Like, because like I cannot be there. At least I know somebody who's there. You know.
Yeah, fucking.
Yeah, it's going to be Amorim or Diamande that we're scouting at Benfica tonight. No, it's Benfica v Sporting. And yeah, happy birthday, Fraser. Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday.
Yeah,
115 years to you, man.
I can't lie to you,
Wish
by
you
the way.
115 years.
By the way, just on a side note, on the Amorim thing, I actually don't know who we're going to get as manager because I think we miss out on Amorim and De Zerbi in the summer, so I don't know who we get.
Oh,
I don't want De
I
Zerbi.
don't want
Scott?
De Zerbi.
Tell you the
Direct
truth.
time.
though.
Tell you the truth. I really don't like. I don't know who I want. I
At this
kind of
point
want
here, I'll
somebody
just go for a
to.
fucking randomer.
Alex,
want
I've got-
somebody that- I don't know.
Alex,
who I
I've got a
want,
top
so-
three. I've got a top three, and I genuinely think we lose out on all three.
I tell you the truth. I want Mourinho. I just want the shithousery. I want the shithousery. At least something gonna come out of this.
All day, 100%.
Like just
Oh, we
to
got three
just.
ex-Chelsea managers free. Three of them.
I think it's no. I don't. I wouldn't take what's his name. Tuchel. I won't. For one specific reason. There is no romance between those two left, and I don't think it's going to be fixed.
It's like you dump up
Yeah,
your girlfriend. So you ask what you want to.
Also, to Lee Bell in the comments, I want Flick's my number one. I think he goes Barca, Amorim's my number 2. I think he goes Liverpool, and De Zerbi's my number 3, and I think he goes Bayern.
Oh, by the way, remember I told you that the best thing Xavi Alonso is going to do is not live in Germany and stay at the club.
Oh, bro, like he's sorted, because we know how much of a mess Bayern is, right? So they could always be after another manager next season anyway. Again with Liverpool, if the reports are to be believed, he turned down Liverpool because he didn't want to follow Klopp. Brilliant, because if the next say Amorim comes in and fails, then he's got less pressure on him when he goes to Liverpool, because he hasn't got to follow Klopp.
He needs to go to a club.
2025, if he then waits another year, in 2026 is when Ancelotti's contract runs out.
Yeah, Real Madrid.
So he can go to Madrid.
What I'm saying is, I don't think. First of all, I think he's not. What's his name? I think he knows what he's doing, and I think the best thing for him it stays at at the place that he was.
Leverkusen.
Yeah. Because the thing is, as well, is like
Bayern Munich has the same problem that Barcelona had when all the stars start leaving. Bayern Munich will not have enough quality in the Bundesliga to fulfill their team. They have to buy, and when they have to buy, they're gonna have to pay a lot of money. And when you pay a lot of money for players, the more pressure on the manager, because those players are expected.
I don't think that's. I'll be real. I don't think Bayern are gonna have that much of a problem next season, depending on who they get as manager. Just because, the thing for me is I just think they have to get a manager who is going to get the best out of their attacking talent. Because I'd say that's the thing that Tuchel has failed to do this season. Outside of Kane, he has failed to get next to anything out of their attacking talent. And even the guys who are performing, Tell is always on the bench.
Bayern does not want Nagelsmann. What are you doing? They fired him last summer.
I'll be real. I could see Nagelsmann going back. I could see him going back. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's definitely going to happen. I could see it happening.
Well, I want a lot of things, but Fraser. But she doesn't want me, so what the fuck am I going to do?
Yeah, but as I said,
the fact is, she doesn't even know I'm existing.
I have literally no idea who we get as our manager in the summer. Which
I wouldn't be surprised if we get in anybody. I would be surprised if this fraud is actually going to be our next manager.
Alex. That was.
You know what?
I was literally about to say it would not surprise me if they get Poch. It would not surprise me at this point.
The funny part is about the whole situation. People saying we don't have experience in the Chelsea. We don't even have a good experienced manager. We have it
no. The thing is, we do have an experienced manager, and it hasn't made a difference. We have a manager with 10. We
have a manager that is properly ranked.
No, but Alex, we do. We have a guy who's had 10 plus years in the Premier League, right? Managing at a good level. He managed Tottenham to a Champions League final and consistently top 4, which is at the moment the base level of what we're aiming for. He managed a PSG team. You could say what you want about PSG, that's still top level. They competed in the Champions League, competed in one of the top 5 leagues in Europe in terms of winning stuff. He has experience at a level that should be good enough, theoretically on paper, to manage at Chelsea, and he failed miserably. So
I think the managers in England is the minute the Pep Guardiola is going to leave and that style of is going to be stopped implementing, the Premier League is going to back where it was. I promise you.
Alex, I'll be honest. When Pep leaves, the level of manager in this league is going to unless you've got an Alonso or you've got a Flick or something.
Scott, I don't think it's going to be I think it will level up because the managers wise, because Pep is so good. I don't like him, but he's so good. I have to admit it. So when he leaves, the regular rest of the plot is going to be average. So we're going to look all the same. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be back to competitive.
Oh, as in what? No, are you saying the Premier League? I was just saying in terms of the level
Premier
of
League.
manager.
Yeah. Just Premier League.
The level of manager is going to stink once Pep leaves. Like in terms of across the board, if you look at like on average,
Level the playing field a bit.
Reek.
I highly recommend Pep try to go and coach national team. I just want to see. Same Mourinho.
I just don't. Mourinho, I'd like to see. I just don't see if there's any point with Pep. Like, I don't even know what his next job should be. Like, I don't even know if he should have a
Spain
job
national team.
like afterwards. Like
Chelsea.
But I don't know like, why
No.
to get to like Spain national team maybe, but like I just don't. If I'm looking at it from Pep's standpoint, like I don't see what I'm getting out of that particularly. Like maybe getting him back up there, but I don't think the talent pool in Spain at the moment is that good. Maybe in 4 years' time it might be, but like at the moment I don't think it's amazing. I just if I'm him, I'm looking at like
He goes right. If he goes at the end of the season. If he wants to coach national team, because he needs time to build the team.
yeah.
He cannot do it. He needs full 4 years. I think it's after Euros if it's possible. So it's going to be 2 years. Mourinho is more accessible to win international games, because at the end of the day you're playing pragmatic football in the world in the national teams more than you play club style football, because you don't have access to that many quality players. You can buy a quality national team, you can pick them. That's why he wants to go to Brazil, because he can handpick them. There's like every other one of them is talented. He can just mold them. Go to Spain right now. Spain is shit. By the way, Spain has always been shit.
The Brazil job. The thing is, like as I said, Alex, I think the Spain job he could do something with for 4 years' time with the next crop that are coming through.
Yeah.
So like you've got your Miles, the next crop. The crop that he's got now, yeah, they're dog shit. Like in terms of the top level talent. Like I'm sorry, he's not winning like anything with a front three of Morata, Torres, and Olmo. Like I like one of those players. He's not winning anything with that front line. He's just
Scott,
not. Sorry,
the
he's
thing
not
is,
winning
when you go
anything
to
with a back.
international,
Like
even if he becomes like, even if he builds the team like he wants, international, it's really different, because there's more low block teams in international than any of them.
Yeah.
For example,
And
Spain, even when Spain
in
World Cup and the Euros, they never outscored substantially anybody with Xavi and Iniesta in it.
There's
you know
also
what I'm saying?
way too much in tournament football. There's way too much variance in terms of like anything can happen, sort of thing. Like you'll have like freak results, or you have freak things happen. We saw it with like when Russia knocked out. What was it? They knocked out Spain and Portugal. Was it
Spain? Yeah.
Both on penalties, I think it was.
Yeah, Russia done well in 2018 in the World Cup.
Yeah.
But it's like, but like you won't.
We lost
like,
to Croatia and some penalties, and Croatia ended up
I
coming.
think Croatia knocked them
Yeah,
out.
but it's like and stuff like that happens. And yeah, that's what I said. I think the next job for him, I don't think he'll ever be an international manager unless it is Brazil.
I don't think he actually successful. I don't think he can be successful though.
But that's what I said. The next job for him is it maybe to go back to Barca, but like for why? For what reason?
I actually think the best thing he can do is actually run the football. Like the biggest football person in
nearly a
I was
winner
gonna say,
in the
do you know
country.
what the next?
I don't
So
know.
do you mean like going to like
a sporting director for the national team?
Yeah, I was gonna say national team. I genuinely like go and do it for Barca. Like go and become that could be the next step, and go back to Barca and just be their sporting director, be their like chief football officer, like be their head of their footballing division.
Where's a Doogie from?
Say again.
Where's a Doogie from?
Italy.
He's Italian.
Oh, is he?
Well, he's like Nigerian, Italian.
Yeah, Nigerian. Yeah, he represents Italy.
I think he's made appearances for the Italian national team, like a couple. But yeah, like maybe he goes and does what his brother does at Girona, but for Barca. Like I don't know, but like I don't see in terms of management. Like
PSG. If they never win the Champions League, he can go to PSG.
Yeah, maybe PSG.
Yeah.
That's not bad, shit. Like, I don't see him going back to Bayern. I don't see him going to Serie A.
I think he wants to do same as he potentially can go to Italy. He just
Antonio.
He just wants to go take a risk.
Full time.
But how you say it?
Full time.
The only reason I could see him going to Italy.
Last point, because I got to wrap up quick.
That's cool. The only reason I could see him going to Italy is if he's trying to do what Ancelotti did, and that's win a league title in every single league, top 5.
Yeah.
What Antonio
Mourinho
is fucking
did too.
shit, isn't he?
He's
really
fucking
is.
Mourinho's not done it.
He's so bad.
Mourinho's never done it.
Never done what?
Win a league title in every top 5 league. Ancelotti's the only manager ever in history to win a league title.
Yeah. Because
in
Mourinho never coached Germany. But he did in Italy.
Man, I apologize. I got to wrap up this stream quickly.
See you guys.
I'll
see you guys.
But you, man, it's been real. I'm gonna redirect somewhere. Who am I gonna redirect to? Northside's live. We'll send them over there. Right. Big up everybody. Like, subscribe. We'll be back tomorrow at 1. Up the Chelsea.